Welcome G. Let's start Kotlin tutorial. So today I'm going to talk about the loop. How in Kotlin, what is the different way we can loop. So generally we are using loop when you want set of instructions are executed multiple times. So instead of writing the same line in multiple time, instead you can write in a loop. Okay, so Kotlin support, you can say, majorly three kind of loop: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So let us discuss one by one key what are the syntax of for loop, and similarly your while loop and do while loop. So for loop, let's give we have a list of some element like 1 comma 2 element comma 3. If you okay, we have a list of element. So how to get print each value? So for loop you have a take any variable name like element in your list, and here you can print your list of element. So here you are listing first element, then second element, then third element. So in this way you are able to, so very simple and concise syntax of a for loop. Okay, sometime let's you want to which index, which positions, so you can also write the index which uh, you can write like I want to in only indexes. So if you print, you are getting the only index value. You what are the index of this particular array, a list. The all the data is stored in the 0 positions and 1 position and 2 positions. So these are the positions. Yeah, there you want to both positions and value, and then you have options here. You can say dollar your index and dollar, yeah, dollar list dot. You have options. Your get and pass your positions index, and now you can get the positional value as well as. So in this way, or the same way you can also like instead of writing this way, you flat this one another way. You can say write a dot with index, and now you are getting a complete custom object, you can say, that with the help of your indexed value. So you have a your index 0 and value, or you same you want to with the manually if you want, instead of the concept of a this is the concept of constructor, and this is the complete object your index value. You can deconstruct here itself. Let's say these are two value, your index value, let's index value and your value. So you can deconstruct the at the same place. Okay, here value, and here you can let's your index uh, at what the value, you can say dollar value. So you have options, you can uh, completely get the independent value as well, whatever you want. So this is the complete object, and complete object from you can deconstruct one value and then one value and one value. So this is the kind of a syntax as a, just use a keyword for, and one the variable, and that is there maybe array or collections of value, collections of maybe value array or list or set anything, and you can take one by one value and print here. If you want to only indexes, you can apply your array at the index and all the index value, and you can also get the here you can use both options, index with this, or you can in this way you can write the both way. You can say dollar list dot, you can specify the index value as well as the both way. You have option to retrieves the from you have index and you can retrieve the value one by one. So here so we have options, whatever for loop or for whatever you are going to uh, we have need one collections may be your array, collection may be your list, collection may be set, and one by one element one element can assign to here, and then you are print. So one element by element or index by index or complete with index and value, kind of one entry set, one indexed object where context the uh, your index positions as well as your value. So these way you can also use your for loop. And here you notice here you notice I uh, not use any variable data type. Here e element we have not defined. If you try to here, can you define here like here bar keyword? No. You can define here val keyword? No. Here why here Kotlin compiler is not allowed to add any modifier here. By default, they assume this is the list of element. You are getting one element, and you are just here you are iterating, printing, getting the value. So by default, this is the your bal keyword. Okay, by this way, this is not your var keyword. If you're trying to say here ki e just your e equal to some just assigned to the new element. Okay, these are the not allowed. Okay, this is the well cannot be reassigned. So Kotlin compiler automatic say ki whatever variable you are here you are by default this is the immutable variable, you are just retrieving one value and going to working on that. Okay, you cannot there is no any sense you can change the value whatever the from list you are getting. So they are the place here, so you cannot specify any your kind of a modifier maybe bar or well. By default all the elements uh, the elements which we are declaring here is immutable. This is the val, so you cannot change the value. Even you cannot specify here any kind of a maybe bar or val. By default, Kotlin's compiler say this is the only val keyword, immutable value. Here you don't need to any declarations. So they internally declare. In other programming language, you can specify as well. This is the int, this is the float, this is no region. They want you are at you are getting a one value from one value. And the next loop, if you're talking about the while loop and do while loop. So both are kind of a works kind of a first the condition on which conditions the particular value true, then this kind of let's this is the one function it this is the one function like eat cake and they are just printing the eaten cake. So this you want to execute four times. So instead of writing statement 1 statement 2 statement 3 statement 4, just write one statement and making a loop. Compiler do for 4 times 5 times. So this can say condition first condition going to check if condition is true, then print this message and again increment condition, again going to check if condition is true, it will again print the again check the condition if it's still true until the condition is true. This is the way we are working. Similarly, in the case of do while loop, first going to your print the statement and then increment the value and check your increment and value is less than or greater than or not. If condition true, then the in this way you can say ki we are able to take a loop here while loop. Simply say let's give variable your here you want to mutate the variable your index variable, let's equal to 0. Okay, and here say while let's your while I less than let's give 5 until 5, then you can say just print then your I equal to dollar I would say incompatible type units are boolean. Okay, and your I plus plus. Okay, sorry. So in this way, here you are not specifying any kind of syntax semantics. You have space here. Not it works. By default, it should be what say what are saying your count less than yes less than 5 to 0. You say what are saying compiler fail. Expecting element bar less than greater than while plus plus what are the thing specify int mhm. Why not running for loop? Yes, so we are a for loop here. Y I equal to for loop while if it works. So let's figure out why it's not working. So in this way we can conditions, so we am writing incorrect. This should be your not while, this is your while loop. Okay, and now your I plus plus. So in this way you can just print the value until your condition is true. Okay, until the condition is true. So your if same you can say in do while loop, your do while is here while loop, while loop, and do while loop you have to first check your first evaluate the your body, then apply your conditions. What conditions you are going to add? Do here, do, and then your while. In this way you can say key first let's say I want to increment, let's key equal to, it's equal to greater than 0, then we are just going to here to while the first they are going to print, then increment decrement, then test condition. So these are the major you can say differences between the while loop. While loop first your evaluate condition, is condition true, then going to loop your statement. Do while loop what say कि first you evaluate the condition and then check condition, condition true, again going to repeat, again going to repeat until your condition is true. Here first check condition, condition true, then evaluate, then again condition, then again condition until you evaluate true. So this is the syntax of your while and do while loop. While loop and do while loop. So this is a one kind of also Kotlin support kind of tool known as a range. There is a set of tools for defining the range in the Kotlin. Kotlin just define key I want to print the value from 1 to 10. So instead of declaring a list of value 1 comma 2 comma 3, we have options like here say we have like a list of number, list of 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. In this way here say for loop your element in list 1 print an a. This is the one way you are defining element. So instead of manually you have define element, here you have options. You can either I give from 1 to I want to 5. So instead of write, you can directly use a for loop your element in and just here mention the range 1 dot dot to let's say 5, and here the same anyway. So in Kotlin you have options, you can, if you know you have a set of value, so you can specify a range for your set of number, yeah, set of number, set of characters. So these are the range, and you want to just in, here you say this is the include your 5. I don't want to include this 5. I want to 1 to 4 only. So so you have options to until let's give we have say 1 and 1 dot yours in until you say 5. The here 5 is not included. This is go to 1 to 4. 5 is not included. here 1 to 4 you are getting. Or this is the you can also this is the short syntax of I think you can write this way, one dot this way. This is the kind of, yeah. So this is the both way you can write here. This is the you can say, कि in Kotlin each everything object. So one is the one object. So this is the integer. The integer function dot until you can find your limit. So here 1 2 4 you are getting data. But Kotlin say कि these are the kind of these are the your function, you can say the infix function. We'll discuss what is infix function. If any function is an infix function and then take only one input argument, so you have an option, you can omit the delete the dot and curly braces and opening braces. So in this case just you remove this and remove this and remove this, you write the same like this way. The one space until space 5. So please, so this is the method, this is your function defined inside your one is your integer data. By default your our numbers you cannot specify between the range, then this is the int number, the int class int into the class which define this your until function. So if you looking this is your int dot your until function. So this is the infix functions. So we know कि this is the syntax is the not one space until space 5. You have to know कि one is the your integer object, and integer object you are going to invoke your until function and that take one argument your limit. So you can write this way or write this way, both are the same thing. So Kotlin support you write code like a very ready way, not needed on dot until. You have options, you can just skip and write 1 until 5. That's easy to read, instead of saying ki 1 dot until bracket 5. So this is the way you can use your simple your range from this to this, and one by one value assign this your final immutable variable val, and you can print. Similarly, you want to only not include the this 3, then until. Sometime we want to not kind of one by one value. I want to some maybe increment 2 or 3 or 4 way. So here we want to let's key for loop I want uh, I index in let's key 1 dot 10. Okay, if you print I this will print 1 to 10, but sometime you want to just not maybe 1 to 10 all value, instead I want first 1 then 3 then 5 then in this way. So you say here again we have options to step and specify the 2 or 3 or 4. In this way you can your increment decrement. This is the one here. Okay, here you can say 1 then 2 9 3 3 4 no 5 5 9 6 8 not include 10. Okay, so this is where you can just you are getting the value step over step over step over. And sometime you want to kind of this is the increment to increment, you want to kind of some decrement. So we have option for let's key I index like 1 dot range 10, and then a function down to and down to specify 10. So they are printed in your. So in this way we have an option. This is the increment number, this is your what happened. Okay, 1 down to, then we have to specify a decrement number na, then 1 down to your 1. Region is the, this is the 10 minus 1 minus 2, this is the 10 minus 1 minus 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 minus. In this way we have options. You can maybe getting the increment number or getting the decrement number. Lots of permutation combination happens. These all are the your you can say math function define your particular int object. So these are the different way. Flatly you are just in getting a 0 1 2 3 increment one by one, or you want to increment just by your 2 or 2 number 3 number. This is the way. You don't want to consider the last element, then 0 to 4, then you have until, or you want to just not increment. This is the getting the increment. Here you want to just down to have a method down to, say 3 is the starting point, down to until you're getting a 0. So in this way lots of range facility offer Kotlin. And also you cannot excuse me. So you cannot only arrange support for the number system. Till now what we study about number system, there also you can, if you have your a to z or z to a, we have option you can give. So here you have options. So not only say key for, let's key I want character in single code a dot dot to, let's key I want to till f. So you are getting the range from a to f. So this is the kind of a flaxy this is a to f. Similarly, if you want to reverse down a for like a character in, let's single code z, and let's key down to single code until the your p. So we have a println and you say character. So in this way you can get first g, then down to x, then y. In this way different way down. So you can say key range is not only applicable for your number system but for characters, but not on. And here you have options. So in case of a step one by one, we have option to step and specify the steps here down to edge. So here you say from Z onward, from Z onward we have a down. So you have a option. You can say uh, I want to skip some. I want to send a step three character, yeah, two character, three character, whatever you want. So they are going to over step over. So here, see, from Z to, yes, this is from Z. This is the reverse. So you have options. You can to step over in this number as well as not only a step down to. So you can exactly figure out. So we have options. Key increment one by one, decrement mm, one by one, or decrement two by two, yeah, three by three. Here is the 10, then 2, then 8, then 6. The steps we have specified. So any steps you can right here, and accordingly they are decrementing in the both places, in the increment positions or decrement positions. Your options you can specify the steps. If you're sorry, not specify any steps, that means they are going to the one by one sequential. So this way you can use your range. And also range can also useful in the some conditions. If you want to, let's keep particular number 2, I want to check this particular number in a particular range or not. If true, then I do something. If a particular number is not in the range, then we have options not only in the loop, but we can also check the particular elements in the particular range or not. So if you say, let's give, we have a well, x equal to 2, and here say, if you want to check this x in range, let 1 to 5, 1 to 5, yes, yes, in range, yes, $x in range, or you can say x not in range, not in. So both have, we have option. So currently here x in range, then say yes, x in range. X in range, so let's key I am like 10 to 15. So you see, you will not getting a range. So x equal to 2, 2 in range, yes. So to range, you have to say range 1 dot 5. Here say 11 dot 15. So in this way you can check the particular. No? Yes, 2 in range this, 2 huh? x2 in range between, no, it should not in, yes. If true, that's okay, yes. If you write x equal, let's say this is the var keyword, and you say x equal to 30, x, check x in 30 or not. So here say else not. So here x is 30, x is not. How you say not in, not in, that means yes. Yes. So this is the, you can say not in. So you have options, you can not in. So if you say x2, yes, 2 between these range, yes, yes. If you say here say 20, if you say 20, 20 not in the range this, then you are not getting this. You are not in the range. Okay, 30 between the range, not in range, yes, 30 not in range. So we have options, so you can do as per your lots of code you save while checking the particular element exists in the range or not exist in the range. Instead of writing code, you can flatly write. Okay, true, not in the range this, true. Okay, right. So yeah, this is the very handy method. Instead of writing lots of code, checking particular element is exist in a range or not exist in a range, but simply you can apply this is the not in or in operator in the if conditions. If you talking about the conditional expressions, so in the you can say there is a no ternary operator in Kotlin. Okay, like this is like in other language like Java support some condition true, then return this or else this. So in Kotlin you can use instead of instead of ternary operator, if maybe use as an expression. So what do you mean expression is now your if you're writing a this is your function. If you take a two input argument a and b, okay, you have to return a letter greater than b, then you return a or b. So this is the way. Here your method returns and the basis of conditions if and a and b. So the same things instead of this is the if statement you can write with if expression. You implicitly say if condition true, then returns a or else b. So this is the statement where you have to manually specify the return statement. But you know in the Kotlin support, if as expression, that means you don't need to write a return statement. This is also evaluated as a value. So you see right here you have a function like a max. Let's take a your input and b your integer, and here this function you generally write this function write a integer return type integer. So you have to write this way, and if check if a greater than b, then you say return a, or else you say return b. This is the way you are writing function. Here you say println say max equal to, here you write your function like max and take 100 comma 200, which is the max they return. So generally you writing in this is the if statement, manually you have to write your conditions. So instead of you have to mention this as well as, okay, so you have to write this way. So instead of writing say Kotlin say you can write the as a if, not a statement, as expressions. You say if can return the value. So write fun max of, let's give we have a integer comma b integer, and simply you write here if a greater than b, then return a, else return b. Okay, it works. So now you are writing the same code like max of the, yeah, both output will be same. So this is the you can handy and a very concise way to write the code. You consider key instead of writing a if statement does not return any value, but in Kotlin if is can use as expression, complete value can assign to a function, okay, or assigned to a variable. Okay, this is you can say right here, well, say you can say a result equal to say, if you write this way, simply you assign this is in inside a variable. Inside a variable you can assign here say well a equal to 100, well b equal to 200, s println r equal to dollar r. In this way you can write. So you can say ki if is not only checking a statement branching if that then this, you can also return complete the value and assign to a variable. So this is kind of your if you can use and a statement as well as your expression. Okay, So here, so generally always Kotlin, see, you have to write so concise code instead of writing here return types. This is automatically identified by your compiler. This is the a, this value written a or b. You know this is the type of integer. So you don't write here your return types. I know this is the only business logic. If greater than a and then greater than b, and you know if is the your you can use as expression. So instead of writing this opening brace and curly brace and writing complete block, you just write if greater than a, then a, and then else b. So this is the concise way you can say कि Kotlin support offer you to write the code. You have options. You can write this way or this way. So generally, first principle of your Kotlin code is so concise. Here simply we write key max of a and b. If a greater than a, else b. It's clear. The same line we are doing this way. So here unnecessary your colon return types and your curly braces and again if curly braces then return value, else if then return value. You manually have to specify each and everything which value returns. Why as a Kotlin as a compiler does uh, n- it can do for you. So in this way you can check the use your conditional, and you can use like any Kotlin you want to check some equality check. The generally we are using the double equal to check for your structural comparison, and triple equal to check for your referential comparison. Okay, so whenever you want to check some object, you can use the double equal to here. Okay, or referential comparison your triple equal to you can use here. So here more precise, like if you let a equal to b, it's simply say कि if a double equal to null है and b then double equal to null. Yeah, if null then again check b also null, then return a true, or you can say or else then e dot equals. So in the Kotlin, not this double equal to check the only two object refer to the same object. Instead also check they are equals as well as. If uh, to a is a different object and b the different object, so generally in Java both are written as well false, but what the content is the same. Okay, they always return a false, but here say कि they also check कि these two are refer the same object. If the same object, then returns true in this case, and or check the equals as well as. Okay, so here you can say we have, let's give we have a well, like here author, we will let's key a set of author, a set of author, set of auth one है, author one comma two, and we have another like uh, writer, writer, and maybe writer one, writer two, and you can check here print auth. You have option you can use compare, right? So here Kotlin upper you can compare object using your double equal to operator as well as. So it's false. If you say compare like this one, if the value is same, in this way it's written. So these are not check only the object references, but also check the actual value as well as. So So here in this way you can check here. Okay. So last we'll discuss about when. Okay. Generally these are the terms used to instead of widely used the switch statement in other programming language like Java. Kotlin provides the more flexible and clear the when construction. Okay, so it can be when we can use as a statement or when we can use expression. A statement does not return any value, but expression after evaluation they can return a value. This is the major differences between a statement and expression. A statement just evaluated and does not return any value, but in expression they are evaluated and also return the value. So they are doing the both things. So if you are talking about the when as a statement, so here, syntax is the when you apply any object, and this object if one, then print this. If string, then print this. Is this multiple like a case here? You can say switch case like, but here you have a and the arrow operator to distinguish if the particular case match. Then what is the do? So this is the here we are not we are not returning any things from when. So this is like a your when statement. So let's here you say let's give one function and cases. Let's name it a cases, and take any object and any. Kotlin is the one concept known as a superclass. All object is the in any kind of you can say this is the just like in a Java language. This all object is a superclass of your object. Similarly, here is all is the any kind of object is the any. Top level is the any. So here say when we have when you have a text one object, and here you can say what when. Let's see if you pass one, then just print you pass one. Or this is the your let's give you pass a hello, and then say your whatever you want to hello hello, or you say something maybe is long, or is anything you have is maybe is long, then you can say print then is long number, or you have some not also you can say is not a string like not is a string, you can say a string print then like not a string, not a string, or anything else. You have a last option else s- default, you can say like print, and this is the default else. So this is where you can say case, and here if you pass like a case here, and like pass like if you pass one, they return your one. You pass hello, they return okay print this, but you this not return any value. Okay, this function does not return any statement. Okay, so this when you are not using as a return any value, this is work as a statement. You say like hello hello, in this way you can say hello. This is the this print hello. So this is syntax is very look like switch. This is the kind of cases, and this is the, your implementation differences. here it works. So we have options to write the code that is a more is case way, and if any of this is not matched, then return a default case. Go to this be ensure whenever you are going to the writing when instead of switch, Kotlin does not support switch, so you have to write all the possible cases whatever you want, and the last if the particular none of the any case match, then this is the default cases. And this is the sweet you can say when expressions, that means ki now I want to complete assign this code in a one particular variable, whatever they have a return value. Here not I'm going to print, whoever call me, whoever invoke me, you can print the value. So like you can say inst expression. Okay, the here you have to return kind of any, and the complete code you say we have well a result, and you can assign here complete code. Okay, and whatever result you say return result. So in this way you can say now if you pass here result, you pass like here we have an option. Now here I'm not going to the print, just return the value, whatever the value they want, you just return the value. Who call me, maybe they want to return some value, pass don't, so this can returns the value. Okay, this is the way you can just, and here you can uh, pass as a uh, value or r, you say let's keep pass as a hello hello your r. So always try to use a val keyword instead of bar. So as a Kotlin, whenever you are going to use any keyword as a bar, they say underscore. That is when this is the modifiable variable. If you generally always recommend you can use the val keyword so that this is immutable. And one thing here you have options. Okay, let's see if a particular let's say is a string. So here you have options. Key whatever your input object, whatever your input object, here you can apply dot your this dot your length as well as. So here you don't need to kind of again going to, if this is the string, then you have an option you can invoke your length as well as. So all the it's also smart casting, you can say here you don't need to again going to the cast. If you let's keep pass hello, not pass the hello, you pass something like you pass to here pass like hello one. The hello one is not matched to this. This is not length. This is a string. Yes, this is string going to here, and they are going to print your not a string with length. Okay. So is a string with your length, where length. So whatever here the object whatever pass here they consider this is an object is now string length. So if you are trying to say you are trying to print your here print tell and like your obj dot length, there is no any length function. Compiler just so there is no any. Here you try to say like this way, this way. It's not a okay. Here you're a non-result. Here you cannot say any what is the length. This object is the input of any types. Maybe your number system, maybe string, maybe long. Long doesn't have a length function. So here they are not only checking this is a string, but here also change. Here your typecasting happen. Now this object is a string object, and now you can invoke the length function. So this is known as a kind of smart casting. So here manually you don't need to go into the cast of the string. Now this is the long, so you this object is automatic converted to their longs. If this is the string, so this object in the input object is converted to the string. Now all the string operation you can perform here. So this is the kind of a benefit your when uh, offered compared to switch. So if anything matched, so now your object is also cast to the respective data types. So here don't need to again casting. So this is known as smart casting. Your when as expressions offer a facility to write all the cases, and accordingly the object is also changed. And if all the feasible case is not matched, then your default case is going to the match. Okay. Let's say I pass some like number 3. Let's pass as a here. I pass as a some. If you're passing any number like 2 3, the 2 3 is a match to anyone or not. So this would be good the your default case. Let's see here you can also pass some range like I want to 10 dot dot to 50. So you see uh, in range 10 dot dot 20. Here you let's keep pass 12. 12 inside your range or not. So, so you have say in range. Okay. So in range 10 to 20. So we have options. You can lots of permutation combination here play. If something not match, then go to the default length. So this is the kind of beauty of your when expressions. You can write multiple cases. There is no kind of break. Anything evaluate. Thus, those are evaluated. If all cases are not matched, then your default case evaluated. And in the case of your strings, any object you can, if you're checked, if this is a string object, if any object is a string object, so here you again you don't need to cast for a string. They automatically cast your object with a string. So this is the, you can say very handy for your expression match or for condition checking. So please try to use this when as expressions as visible. So here we have discussed today about discuss in summary what to do with different kinds of a loop. We are discuss while loop, for loop, while loop, and do while loop, and then we discuss a range. Okay, a range like one dot dot and the 10. This is the one object we have option increment, decrement, step downs. Similarly, we have discussed about conditional check. We have to in Kotlin use to double equal to operator to check any object. They internally check equals method as well as. And last up we have discussed about your when instead of your switch statement, Kotlin is support when we can use as a two mode, when as a statement, when as a expressions. So in a statement, they when they not return any value after evaluation, but in when we are using is when as expressions, they evaluate and they return the value as well. Similarly, we have learned about the if block can be used as a statement or as a expression. If can return some value or you cannot return value. So in Kotlin, generally always try to we have a two flavor of like if or in a statement flavor or your expression flavor. So like if you're talking about the if can be used in the two flavor, maybe statement does not return any value or expression can return value. Similarly, we have a study about when you can use a when as a statement or when as a expression. When a statement, that means they when after evaluation that not return any value, but in the case of when as a expression they are return value after evaluation. So this is the different way kind of a controls statement Kotlin offer. You apply if as a statement or expression, when as a statement or expressions, and the range we have a from not only number system range from 1 to 10, yeah, 1 to 100, yeah, or we have a option from character range a to z, yeah, z to a. We have a option, maybe you want to iterate range from your increment manner or decrement manner. We have an option, we have a manually step over. So these are the handy tools yet technical available in the Kotlin. So my recommendation is that please try to play with this kind of a range function, a step function, down function, until functions, and until you are not using these, not playing, not writing some code, you are not feeling comfortable. So my recommendation, my suggestion, please write some sample code with a range function, with a when statement, when expression, and a if statement, if expression. Then you feel confident. So yes, very handy things and very shortcut, very concise code you can write. So here again, I would like to say thank you for watching this video.